just got myself the iPhone 15 Pro. Oh, look at me. So happy with my new toy. I feel like a kid, honestly. So excited. Happy days. Happy days. And I know you probably say it's the same as last year's, but I love tech, sue me. Now, I've been using the 15 Pro for a month, and I really like it. It's not perfect, but good enough. Good enough. They both turned out to be wrong, you know? Almost an entire year has passed, and the 15 Pro I have now is a totally different phone. Like, literally, I have another 15 Pro. But let's not rush things. It's so lighter, definitely lighter, and so comfy. No sharp edges, and the color, look at this color. Look, natural titanium. I still like the color. Honestly, the natural titanium is my favorite iPhone color, ever. I won't trade it for anything else. And it's a shame that Apple wants to change the shade of this color. In 16 Pro, the natural titanium will be more gray-ish, and I don't like that. At least the titanium will remain, because it survived quite a drop I had in the first month. That was... I dropped it. Okay, there it is. The display looks fine. That's the protective one, not the real glass. But what about the back? Was quite a drop, as you could tell. I was standing on this ladder installing my Synology NAS, holding phone like this, and happened. Okay, ready? It's fine. I don't see any cracks, dents, even scratches. I'm so happy because it would have cost me a lot to replace the back glass. The problem was that the titanium in combination with frosted glass form a slippery combo. It feels great in hand, but on fabric, in your pocket. After that moment, I got myself a case. And you know, it's a shame really. I decided to be a no case guy this time, until I dropped it. And it's not about the cases themselves. I tested plenty of them, they are great. It's about the screen. Come on, these bezels and edges, they're so smooth that using the case feels like a crime. I am not putting any case on the phone, period. Look at these bezels. The whole screen feels bigger. The display size is the same, don't listen to him, it's an illusion. Under the hood, it's exactly the same display I had in my 14 Pro. There are no differences. The brightness is the same, the size, the Pro Motion, but I feel a bit frustrated because at the same event, we got the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and its screen is 50% brighter than on the 15 Pro. 3000 nits. I think it would have been a great upgrade on Apple Sport to give 15 Pro such a high brightness, but still, it's enough for me. In that clip, I would have gone a long rant about how bright the screen feels outdoors under the sun, but the truth is, I'm a YouTuber. I never leave my studio. I wonder how I ended up with a studio in my living room and not in the basement. The only case for me when the brightness matters is under these studio lights. The iPhone does reach 2000 nits here, but gets really hot. And if I try to record a video on it at the same time, say hello to throttling. Even without the brightness cranked up, it still throttles when shooting videos. This deserves a whole separate video. First things first, I want to see the camera. I have no other apps installed and I don't care. I will just open it up, point and shoot. I don't see that much more detail. Apple made 24 megapixels the standard resolution for photos, but I guess without comparing photos from 14 Pro side by side, it would be too hard to find a difference. This guy right here, he didn't even know back then how much better the camera had gotten. The detail level, the amount of information in the shadows, the night photos. 14 Pro had a great camera, but this phone, the best one ever. I especially like the automatic portraits, no need to switch modes, just point and shoot. The only thing I don't use that much are these focal length modes. I even turned them off in the settings. Those are just cropping the image, so what's the point? Oh, I didn't know back then that all this was just the beginning. I didn't know then that the best thing about this camera for me would be not the 24 megapixel shots, but the JPEG Max mode. 48 megapixels of glory. You heard me right, I'm using the 24 megapixel mode by default. The reason is simple. A ton of quality at a fraction of the size. But don't mistake it for the 48 megapixel Pro RAW. That one does give a ton of editing freedom, but 75 megabytes a shot, That's crazy. JPEG Max is only 5 megabytes and it's only 30% more than the standard 24 megapixel shots. Sure, it takes longer to take a shot, but the amount of detail is well worth the hassle. And those focal lengths, I was wrong about them. They're pretty cool. Not very useful, but I turned them back on. Just for that one case a week I need them. What I'm really happy about is the fact there are less reflections and blooms in the camera. 14 Pro is notorious for flares and glares, but 15 Pro is much better. Not perfect, but better. Still true, nothing's changed here. What I found myself really using is the automatic portraits. It seems so simple at the first glance, but makes a huge difference. Though I don't like the default depth effect, so almost each time I take a shot, I have to go and increase the blur in post. The 2x zoom feels exactly the same, but the 5x, whoa. Yeah, that's why I've gone for the 15 Pro Max. The 3x is cool and all, but not good enough. And it's not about the quality, it's just the zoom range. 5x gives more creative freedom. Now, I really want to see the new log. In case your new log is a special color profile that's great for color grading. Think of it as RAW, but for videos. And Apple added it to the 15 Pro. To me, a YouTuber, this is huge. Oh shit, it's 2 gigs a minute at 1080p. And at 4K, it's even more than that. I wonder if I could just shoot log without ProRes. And I can, using the Blackmagic camera app. This app is great, honestly. I can just go into settings and turn on log and use standard H.265 codec, which weighs like a regular video. The best of both worlds. Small file size and great colors. The only problem really is that there are no modes in this app, which means no action mode in log, which is absolutely a must for a content creator. Spoiler, if you have a stabilizer like this Osmo 6, you can still shoot stabilized videos in log. You'll have to jump through many hoops, but you can. Apple really makes it their priority to make you pay more. Even so, the log videos are amazing. They seem to have less processing and look more natural to the eye, but unless you are a videographer like me, you shouldn't really care about that. I can't say that I've shot many videos in log on my iPhone, because at the end of the day, I have 2 Sony cameras always ready to shoot B-rolls at my studio, and when I'm just making memories, I don't want to be constrained by the huge file size. It's just easier to shoot regular videos, just plain old 4K videos. I only changed 2 settings. Turned off HDR, just annoys me too much. And I also turned on lock white balance while recording. Now colors don't shift around and stay consistent. Trust me, this was a huge issue back in the day, but now, okay, here's what I really like. The action button. Feels nice and clicky, and having the option to customize it is refreshing. Unusual for Apple, I must say. And I like it. Probably gonna set it to, I don't know, open camera for now. Well, guess what? I just missed the train. Mainly because of this action button. I had it set to toggle the silent mode, and I forgot to check whether it was on or off, so I missed the train. Okay, here's how it happened. Initially, I had the action button set to open the camera, but then I started experimenting. Testing shortcuts, different options, and so on. That's how I ended up with it switching to silent mode. And since it's just a button, there's no easy way to see in which mode the phone is. With the good old toggle, there was this orange indication that made everything easy. I was so used to it that I just forgot to check the mode that was set. And since I sleep with my Oura Ring, I didn't hear the alarm and overslept. That was quite unfortunate, but luckily didn't make anyone super angry. My biological clocks worked rather well, and I was late by like an hour. But I want to stay on point, because action button has turned out to be just a cool gimmick. A gimmick. You heard me right. After a year of trying and testing different things, I can confidently say it's a cool gimmick, nothing more. If you're too lazy to set it up, you'll just have it do something basic like launching a camera. If you're a bit more savvy like me, you'll have it open a folder with shortcuts, but either way, it's a pretty cool gimmick. You can totally live without it. But I'm still happy to have it. And since the iPhone 16 Pro will have another button added, I'm really curious to see what it's gonna do. And I also hope to see more features get added to the existing action button, like launching a new, smarter Siri. And I will talk about Apple Intelligence too. What to try next? It's snappy, fast, no lags, even though it's downloading a ton of apps in the background right now. And while it does that, I just want to say that one of the most exciting parts of the event was the part where Apple talked about ray tracing and AAA games. I really want to play them, and I hope they come out soon enough. 1 month in, still no games. Resident Evil Village is scheduled to launch by the end of the month, then I'll have to wait for a couple updates to fix all bugs and optimize things. This phone is super powerful, and I want to see what it can do in terms of gaming. But for now, I'll just use my PS5. I wasn't really planning on buying it, but here I am. The good thing is that I didn't waste my money. I got 2 controllers for my iPhone. Yeah, you can connect the DualSense controllers to your iPhone, if only there were games to play. There are a couple games, and the DualSense works great. Even the adaptive triggers work, and all the haptics. The games though, those are kind of a mixed bag, especially in terms of their performance. Resident Evil Village works fine, but Death Stranding is a bit laggy. I haven't played the Assassin's Creed Mirage, but people who played are unhappy with the performance. Is it the fault of the 15 Pro? I don't think so. I think it's all about the size of the games and how they were created in the first place. I also like that I can plug my iPhone into the monitor via the Type-C, connect the controller, and play games. But the display of the 15 Pro, not the Max, is a bit small to play comfortably. Type-C, I'm so excited. Finally, I'm gonna connect all my gear to my phone, my external drives, microphones, and so on, and just having one cable for everything. That's sweet. Well, I don't connect anything to my phone, and the Type-C is pretty much useless. I obviously use it for charging the phone, but that's about it. Well, I don't know, somehow I never really got around the Type-C accessories. Why should I connect anything but the external SSD to the phone? And even that I'm barely using. Still true to this day, Type-C is good to have for rare occasions. It makes transferring files faster, gives more freedom, but in the real world, there's not that big of a difference between it and the Lightning. Tough truth, I'm sorry. That's about it, I think. I've used it for a couple of minutes, but I have high hopes. Especially for the battery life, because my 14 Pro was terrible at it. I even had to use the MagSafe power bank to keep it usable and somewhat preserve the battery health. The 15 Pro, not the Max, in terms of battery is actually quite alright. Better than 14 Pro, can easily last you a full day on a single charge. But the Max, this guy, I charge it once every 2 days, and I use the phone a lot. Social media, camera, watching videos, playing games. This phone lasts forever. It's not that the 15 Pro is bad in terms of battery. Pro Max is just better. So if battery life is important to you, go with the Max. And one more reason to go with the Max is the display size, obviously. The Pro Max has it big enough to comfortably hold in hand, type messages, and play games. The regular Pro, despite being really easy to use with one hand, wasn't really a device that I want to use for long periods of time. On Pro Max, I don't even need to connect the display, just the controller. This bigger screen makes everything better. Also, I'm so happy about the 5x zoom camera with that I just feel like a real pro photographer. Of course, I could have gotten roughly the same shots with a 3x, but 5x is just better. The way it brings the background closer lets me take really creative photos, but you have to know how to use it, because the camera alone doesn't guarantee great shots, but given my background, I mostly know how to use it, and even managed to get a few cool shots. It's a really cool phone. I really like it. But I also have a few questions that I have no answer to right now. For example, I'm really concerned about the scratching of the display glass. My 14 Pro scratched really easily, and after a few months looked awful. So yesterday, I noticed something. I've been using my phone as usual, but take a look. I don't know if you can see this, but there are some small scratches on the display already. None of them are big like on the 14 Pro, but still somewhat visible. I find it funny how year after year we hear about the most durable glass ever, and then it gets crashed by air. For you, this whole video might seem like Inception, but I'm sitting here watching my old videos where I talk about my experience, and I just reflect on that. Because now, my perspective has changed. I did much more with this phone, and now I have a clearer picture. So hear this. You must put a screen protector on as soon as you buy the phone, but go for a decent one with the correct cutouts and good oleophobic coating. I guess my biggest concern right now is the future of this phone. As I'm holding the phone, I can't really see where Apple plans to take it. I see the camera is getting much better, the processor getting faster and optimized for gaming, but I don't see the full picture, and I really don't want to end up with another generic upgrade. You know, I just did my research and found that the A17 Pro inside the 15 Pro has noticeably more power in its neural engine. Apple didn't advertise this during the event, but this got me thinking, what is it for? How will this power be used? For gaming? Well, probably, but Apple has its own tech for upscaling the resolution in games, and maybe this extra power goes there. But given how Apple likes to gatekeep features from its users, I actually have a different idea. Hear me out. Artificial intelligence. We all saw what ChatGPT can do. And there are tons of AI apps out there already on the App Store. Other phone manufacturers are also planning to release their AI features inside their AI phones. So why can't Apple give this power now to unlock it later? We all saw that AI is coming. Apple seems to pull off some real magic and combine its strict privacy and AI. Think about it. The new Siri not only converses like a regular human, can also interact with different apps on a basic level. That's something the Rabbit R1 tried to do. The only difference is that Rabbit flopped and Apple will have to make it work. The AI will soon be sprinkled all throughout the system. Smarter Siri, object removal in photos, voice memo summaries, and so much more. I guess right now the Apple Intelligence is the best part about the iPhone 15 Pro, all because it will work on the 15 Pro and newer models. I think the iPhone 15 Pro is a great phone that everyone should buy. Okay, I want to clarify that. The 15 Pro is a great phone, but not everyone should buy it. You should do your research first, find out what you really need from a phone, because if you don't do that, you'll just end up buying a new phone mid-year. And now the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max are just weeks away. They will be even better than 15 Pro, and choosing between the two will be even more difficult. So please tread lightly, do your research, and make the right purchase. And our videos will help you make the right choice. Like we did a video with the biggest mistakes you can make when buying an iPhone. Be sure to check it out next. Thanks for watching. See you there.